Several US allies are evacuating their citizens from Kabul airport, including Afghans who worked alongside them and who are now desperate to flee. Many G7 leaders implored US President Joe Biden to extend the August 31st deadline for the withdrawal of US troops. But in a televised address after the virtual summit, the president made it clear the US is sticking to the timetable.
The sooner we can finish, the better. Each day of operations brings added risk to our troops.
US firepower is vital for the evacuation operations, says analyst Andrew Bell, who served with the US military in Afghanistan.
They provide important security capabilities that certainly in small components can be provided by some of the NATO allies, but really the backbone has been formed by the US military. And for the mission to continue, really would rely on the capabilities brought by the American military.
The Taliban also says they will not allow any extension of the August 31st deadline. So US allies say they will have no choice but to follow that timetable.
We will go on right up until the last moment that we can. But you've heard what the President of the United States has had to say. You've heard what the Taliban have said.
Johnson said G7 leaders had agreed a common future approach.
A roadmap for the way in which we're going to engage with the Taliban, as it probably will be a Taliban government in Kabul.
Several G7 nations pledged financial assistance. The European Union has set aside $1.2 billion for Afghanistan.
It is frozen until we have solid guarantees and credible actions on the ground that the conditions are being met.
There are European concerns over the longer-term consequences of the Western withdrawal.
Let's not allow the creation of a new market for smugglers and human traffickers, and we are determined to keep the migratory flows under control and the EU's borders protected.
G7 and NATO alliances have been tested by the abruptness of the US withdrawal, says analyst Bell.
In the short term, certainly this will continue to add some of the friction. There are bridges that continually need to be rebuilt in the post-Trump era. But I think in the long term, this won't do much to significantly damage our relationship with our allies.
For now, the focus of the US and its allies remains on the difficult and dangerous evacuations amid the chaos at Kabul airport. Henry Ridgwell for VOA News, London.